Business Today is brought to you by...
Shouldn't banking start with you? After all, it's your life and we're just one part of it. So no matter what life throws at you, at Scotiabank we guide you through it with people who actually listen and with services that enable what matters most to you. Because at Scotiabank, it starts with you.
This is Business Today. I'm Sandy Dean. We start with a special focus on women in business on the heels of International Women's Day celebrated last Wednesday. Officials are eager to see local and regional women in business exporting more of their products and services. As such, the Caribbean Export Development Agency has launched a new initiative it hopes will address some of the major challenges hindering such development. Through its Women Empowered Through Export program, the Regional Development Agency is hoping to support women-owned businesses to increase their ability to access finance, access new markets, and increase their exports. Executive Director of Caribbean Export, Pamela Coke-Hamilton, told the official launch of the initiative on Wednesday 20 women-owned companies from CariForum will benefit in the first phase, which will last for a period of 1 year. Businesses can check their eligibility on Caribbean Export's website.
We will not drop them off at the truck stop at the end of that year. But the idea is that they would be graduated, they would have reached a certain point, and then we can start with a new tranche of 20 women. But we would continue to work with them and empower them thereon. And then they can also give back. The project will have a four-pronged approach. 1, access to finance, that's one pillar. 2, capacity building. 3, access to markets, and of course 4, advocacy.
Coke-Hamilton said in order for qualifying companies to benefit, they will have to undergo a special diagnostic test.
This will help us identify the areas of strength, the weaknesses, and importantly, the gaps that exist. Some people don't have, as I said, an internal structure. One of the reasons we have had difficulty, for example, in our direct assistance grant scheme, is when we give the grants, it's reimbursable. So persons have to get money up front and then reclaim. Many of the companies do not keep proper records. They don't have the financial statements. They don't have anything internally. And as a result, they're not able to get reimbursed. And then that creates financial problems for them. We're trying to avoid that. So what we're trying to do is do a diagnostic first to just define where you are, what it is you need, what are the gaps, and how do we move forward.
Gender equality is good for business. That's the view of UN Women Caribbean representative Allison McLean, who points out that if women in the region were paid the same as their male counterparts, then Caribbean economies would realize significantly more growth. McLean was addressing the launch of the Women Empowered Through Export initiative at the Barbados Hilton on Wednesday.
We can no longer afford to restrict women to less secure and lower paying jobs and to block their access to leadership and executive positions. In 2018, if we are to realize economic growth and sustainable development, which our region so badly needs, women have to be seen as legitimate partners and beneficiaries of growth and development. Gender equality is good for business. A 2015 report by the McKinsey Global Institute found that if women and men played, and I quote, an identical role in labor markets, $28 trillion would be added to the global economy by 2025. And these global gains would be on top of the benefits to individual companies.
Minister of Finance Chris Keeler is encouraging residents to be more vigilant with insurance companies in Barbados and the region in an effort to safeguard against a similar CLICO debacle. Speaking to reporters following a tour of the new office of Resolution Life Assurance Company Limited at the Worthing Corporate Centre in Worthing, Christchurch on Wednesday, Keeler said he had utmost confidence in the new company, which currently has 25 workers. Rest Life now controls a life insurance portfolio previously held by CLICO International Life Insurance Limited.
With good regulation, with companies that are operating appropriately, and with good vigilance of the public, because the public still has a responsibility to exercise vigilance outside of the regulatory authorities on companies that operate in Barbados and the Caribbean. I believe that a situation similar to what would have occurred with CLECO ought not to be repeated in Barbados.
And now for today's financial tip. Don't spend what you don't have. This may sound far-fetched, but some people do spend a lot more than they work for. Doing such leaves you out of pocket. That's been the business today. Join us again on Thursday. Until then, you can get more business and news by logging on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribing to our e-paper, and liking us on Facebook.